And welcome back to another podcast with Mr. Hagan. And on this podcast, we're going to continue looking at shifting the aggregate expenditure curve. And so let's get right at it. Here's our aggregate expenditure curve, our total spending curve, which is consumption, planned investment, government spending, and net exports. We have the 45-degree line, which is where the gross domestic product is equal to the aggregate expenditures. Right here, that means change in inventory. Right here is equal to 0. And my real-world event is consumers fear a recession is coming. If consumers fear a recession is coming, then my determinant is going to be a change. Let's say this, a change in consumption expected income. Changing consumption expected income. So here's the key to this. Income did not change yet. There was no change in consumer income. Consumer income did not change yet. What changed is their expected income. Now, if people expect their income to go down in the future, if they expect their income to fall in the future, then they're going to spend less money today. If they expect lower income in the future, they're going to start to change their behaviors right now, today. Whether this turns out to actually happen or not is another question. If they expect their income to go down in the future, then they will begin reducing consumption today. So that will cause a decrease in consumption, and that's going to cause the aggregate expenditure curve to decline, and so the aggregate expenditure curve is going to shift down. Aggregate expenditure curve is going to shift down to AE2, and that means come back over here. That means the spending is now going to be below production. Spending is now below production, and that means that inventories are going to start to pile up. Companies are going to respond by decreasing production until we get to the new equilibrium Y2, and so that means that the gross domestic product is going to decline. Let's say what our rule is here. And I'm sorry, just give me a second here. I wanna put the rule up here. So just my rule is going to be if we expect income to go down in the future, then the curve shifts down today. If we expect income to go up in the future, then the curve shifts up today. So let me just say that one more time because I wanted this rule here, so I just put it up. Our rule would be if we expect income to decrease in the future, if we expect our income to decrease, then the curve will shift down. That's the example that we just did here. If we expect income to increase in the future, if I expect to be making more money in the future, then I will start spending right now today in expectation of that higher income, and the curve will shift up right now today. So that's our rule. All right, thanks for joining me. There's been another podcast with Mr. Hagan, and we'll see you on the next podcast.